Did you know that you can coil and uncoil your Erin Condren notebooks and planners? Because you can. And today I'm going to show you how. A few caveats before we get started. There may be points in this video where I'm making it look easy. I have a lot of practice with this. I've done this many times over the years. So if I make it look simple or easy, I apologize. The first few times you do this, it is going to be a giant pain in the ass. And to be fair, it's not really any less of a pain in the ass for me now. It's more time consuming than difficult though. So the more you do it, the easier it's going to become. But there are, as you will see as we get going, still problems that I struggle with, and I will try my best to explain how I overcome those issues. And most of it has to do with the shape of the coil at the end, but we'll get into that. So if you have an abundance of the thinner Erin Condren notebooks and you've ripped pages out and you just want to compile like one big fat notebook, this is the video for you. I have done this. I mean, I haven't even kept all of my coils, but I do have this box that I keep all of my coils in. They have multiple size coils. I am using these 7x9 notebooks to compile them into a fatter 7x9 notebook. So the ones that they sell now on their site have these thinner coils. Their planners have these fatter coils. I don't know if you can see the size difference here. I mean, they're very different sizes, right? I literally cannot remember ever buying an Erin Condren planner. So I don't know if the notebooks used to come fatter and that's why I have a few of these fatter ones, or if I did buy planners and I honestly don't remember. I haven't bought anything from Erin Condren in years, by the way, so if you are an EC hater, I stopped buying from them years ago. These are things that I amassed in the past, and now I'm just, as they start to run out, because I already paid for them, I'm absolutely going to use them. I'm just recoiling them into fuller size notebooks for myself. And when they're out, and I will find something else. But, I mean, these are all the little notebooks I've uncoiled over the years. I still have more. If you are new here, I have a planner supply problem, and I in the past spent way too much money and amassed way too much stuff, and now I am on a journey to use, donate, and sell older things. But hate them or love them, Erin Condren notebook paper is the best paper in the world, and I will be sad when I am officially out of it, but whatever. So we are going to uncoil a couple notebooks from the shelf, and we're going to recoil them into my main notebook, which is my new planner. I will link a video about that journey wherever it goes up here. So let's get started. I will be speeding some things up, but when I recoil, I will play that in real speed. So if this video looks pretty long, it's because I'm going to show you how long it takes me in real time to recoil all the pages back together. So apologies if this is a longer one, but everyone wants to know how I do this, so I'm going to show you how I do it. I don't know if it's the right way. I don't know if it's the wrong way. It's what works for me, and I'm just going to show you how I do it. So you're going to need a pair of pliers, and you're going to need some coiled notebooks, and that is all the tools that I will be using today to get this done. So let's get it done. Obviously, we're going to start by taking all of the covers off of our notebooks because you don't want them to get in your way. And then you're going to grab your pliers and you're going to pry up the end of the coil, and you're going to want to try to keep it a little rounded because you're going to want it to flow smoothly through those tiny little holes. And this is a trial and error kind of thing. You're going to have to, get a feel for it as you start pulling it through. I had some loose pages and stuff, so I ripped those free because it just makes it easier. And then you're going to want to flip it over, and you're just going to want to pull up the edge of the other end as well so it doesn't get caught. And now we just start pulling it through. I did have to use pliers to pull it through the first couple times, but it will start to flow as you get going, as you'll see. So that took me about 5 minutes. And like I said, I have practice at this. And I will say that my coil was super chewed up because I've done this so many times. So it did get snagged. If this is the first time you're doing it, that might not happen to you. It might be easier to for you if it's smoother. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a time-consuming project, and you got to really want to do it. So now I'm just going to uncoil a couple of other notebooks, and we're going to speed that up so that you don't have to sit through, all of it. I am ripping out the pages that are already used because the less pages that are in it, the easier it is to get the coils in and out, And now we are going to recoil all of the pages from the multiple notebooks back together. And you want to start with the longer end of the coil at the top, and you're going to start winding down. And again, this is a very tedious process. And I will say that right here, so you can see that the pages are ripping. That is because of the angle I am doing this in to show you what it looks like. I'm going to adjust the camera angle right here. So you want to have it like up and down, because if you try to do it with the front page facing you, you're going to rip the pages. So I did that to show you what it looks like from the front, but that's not how you're going to want to coil it, because that is why those pages ripped. It was the angle I was holding it, not because of the recoiling itself. I hope that clears that up. So you can see it goes pretty smooth. This is a coil that I haven't recoiled, so the edges are not chewed up. And that is why this is going more smoothly than when I was uncoiling the other one. Because it doesn't have all the dents and dings in it from the pliers like the black coil did. Because this is the first time I'm using this wider coil to recoil a notebook. So it is smoother if your coil is not all dinged up. And there we have it. That is my recoiled notebook. I chewed some stuff up there, but that's just the nature of the beast. And then you're going to take your pliers and you're going to bend those coils back down. And this, again, is going to take some practice and adjustment as you figure out what's not going to get in your way. This process just takes practice. It's not, it's not an intuitive kind of thing. You just have to trial and error your way through it. But for me, it's so worth it because I'm not wasting notebooks. I'm able to keep one main notebook with multiple kinds of pages. So it becomes like those old school, like 5-subject notebooks where each type of paper can be a different thing for me. And, it doesn't take a whole lot of time once you get the hang of it. I am actually better at coiling and uncoiling than I am at getting these stupid planner covers on. I watch people do this and they just and it just snaps right on. I can't get it to do that. I have to individually punch each stupid little thing into the coil. Clearly I'm doing something wrong. But it is more time consuming for me to put my covers on than for me to rip apart notebooks and put them back together. It's crazy. I think that our brains just all work in different ways. And there is some trick to this that I have just never learned. And that is that. That is how I take my main notebook and keep it fat and chunky the way that I like it. And as I use pages in it, I just rip them out. And when it's starting to get a little thin, I pull apart another notebook and I shove it in there and I recoil it. It's not complicated. It's just time consuming and it can be a little frustrating until you get in the groove of it. So if this is something that you want to try, I will tell you, if you have carpal tunnel, this is probably not a project you're going to want to undertake. Because I don't have carpal tunnel, and sometimes if I'm really getting into it and I'm pulling many notebooks apart, my hands will ache like a son of a gun. So I will warn you of that. This is not a project for my spoonies who have chronic pain in their hands, arthritis, carpal tunnel, things like that. I'm sorry, this is not a project that you're going to want to undertake. Call your friend, ask them to come over, give them snacks, and ask them to do it, is my best advice. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned how to do this for yourself if it's something you want to do. Please don't forget to smash all those YouTube buttons for me and leave me a comment below about anything you'd like. There is a very real chance that this is going to reach new people. Be nice because I will delete rude comments. I don't play here, and my community doesn't want your attitude. So thanks for stopping by. If you are new here, I would love it if you would subscribe, but no pressure, I guess. There's no need for you to help me out in a way that's completely free and costs you nothing and takes 2 seconds. No worries. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.